flashing on my computer that I had an alert on that one.
So let's light this puppy.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. The T-bone.
And ChickBrew.
Let's God bless. All these years, just get it right one time.
What do you want from me?
40 years they've been trying. You couldn't fire somebody if they were horrible, doing a terrible job for the veterans. And now you can say, you're fired.
Okay. No one listens to radio.
And now for a quick disclaimer. The T-Bone
And ChickBrew.
show is brought to you by nobody. We have no sponsors.
The show is still rated G.
For glorious. Did that come in soft to you, or is it just me?
Yeah, no, it came in quiet.
Interesting thing that happened during the live show, all of the pre-programmed little tidbits that I throw into the show, all of them recorded horribly. So before I posted it, I had to go back in and replace them all. The live show was a great time. I really enjoyed that.
It was super fun.
It was super fun. Ace is a character. I would like to have Ace on more regularly.
He said he's into it.
But we would definitely need to get him he needs to get a microphone setup that works because his sound quality was not good. Jose, of course, is always fun to have around. Me and Jose have spent a lot of time, a lot of laughter together. And of course, I would love to have him. All of the people that are listeners to this show, we enjoy you in one way, shape, or another, unless you're complete total strangers. And then we just enjoy having you around. Sorry, I just brushed my teeth in preparation for leaving the house. And you know how you kind of get the little gummy feeling in the back of your throat after a good teeth brushing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the worst. But it's also very satisfyingly the best.
Well, I'm glad you said yes, because I would hate to know that I'm the only person who gets a gummy feeling in the back of their throat after brushing their teeth. Have you ever brushed your teeth and almost choked?
Yes, I hate that.
Yeah, it's not like I'm jamming the brush down my throat and tickling my epigodolitis. What is it called?
Uvula?
Yes, my uvula. I'm glad I didn't get that one wrong. I usually do. The Tibbs Eve live show. This is our end of the year 2022 wrap-up show. It's funny, as I listen back to old episodes, I listened back to 2019 and our predictions for 2020. Man, were we off. We did not do well in predicting what 2020 had in store for us. So,
and boy, did it have a lot in store. Or a lot of nothing.
It's funny because I think, time is the best healer. With time, whether it's emotional pain or bad experiences, whatever it is, with time, those things aren't as raw as they are when they're happening. And what we went through in Spain through the pandemic, it amazes me because I was watching a TV show recently where it was filmed during the pandemic. And there's a whole bunch of people and they're partying and they're having a good time. And I remember during quarantine conversations, we would have conversations with people back in the States. And what they went through in the States was a lot different than what we went through in Europe.
But for some reason, the people in the States act like they went to war.
Some of the creepiest video I remember, and if I could find a link, I'll post it up. But Slade, our comedian friend there in the Houston, Texas areas where she's centered, he did some great videography of an empty Houston. Rob Calabro, a longtime friend of mine, he was in New York City, and he would go out on a morning run, and seeing New York City empty, barren, in broad daylight. They say New York City is a city that never sleeps, but it does. It has to have a rest cycle. And when I used to go to work in the city early in the morning, it was not uncommon to walk empty streets. Now, they soon come alive, and they come alive like you wouldn't believe. But to see him in the middle of the day, just running down empty streets, is some of the freakiest video. I think I'll reach out to them, see if I can get a link. It was only missing Will Smith, a dog, and some pale-colored monsters.
I will say, when I was going to New York to go to school, I was in the Madrid airport, and we were the only flight in the whole airport. There were no stores open. There were probably about 30 some odd people on that flight. That was it. And we were the only flight. So there was 30 people in that whole terminal. And it was so empty and echoey. I was like, there's got to be more people on this plane. No.
I've had a similar Langoliers styled exodus.
Love that movie.
It's a great movie.
Great movie.
When we left Shanghai, the airport in Shanghai is just, it's probably one of the largest airports I've ever seen in my life. It's incredibly huge. And I've been in some big airports. but the departure area, there must be 50 gates for departure. 50 lanes. Only one is open. And you're walking down this grand concourse, it's like you and 6 other people, very Langolier-esque. You're walking down this grand concourse, 50 lanes are available, 1 lane is open. And if a tumbleweed would have blown across the concourse while this was happening, it would not have been out of place. It was so freaky. And it was a strange time. A lot of dead people in 2023. A lot of 2022. Not making a prediction for 2023. 2022, a lot of celebrities said goodbye. I thought it would be.
Like the last day has been pretty crazy.
So you got the Pope Benedict the 16th there. You got Pele, and this morning Barbara Walters. Yes. Earlier in the year, we lost Queen Elizabeth. We lost a lot of other people. Let me just ask you, did we lose this person in 2022, or is this person still alive? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Did Betty White die in 2022?
I think she just made it into 2022. Did she not?
She did not. She died on this day 1 year ago.
1 year ago.
In 2021.
We had just finished the show, hung up. I walked out into my living room, and I got the alert, and I messaged you.
How about Bob Saget? Was it this year or last year?
I think that was last year.
It was this year.
Really?
Yeah. Sidney Poitier?
This year.
That's correct. The last one for you to guess, Angela Lansbury. This year or last year?
This year.
It was this year. And there's a whole list. There's like 106 celebrities that died in 2022. And I don't know what it takes to reach celebrity status, but a lot of these people I do not know. Some of their names I cannot pronounce. It's one thing if you're famous with a strange name. It's another thing if you're famous with a strange name and people can pronounce it. Like if Zach Galifianakis was to die today, I could at least pronounce his name.
Well, because you've heard it.
Yes. But there's like one Thai guy that made the list, and Thai has got the crazy characters in their language there, so there's no way I'm ever going to pronounce that.
You've lived a lot of places. I live here in Spain, and I was interested in New Year's traditions because there are so many. Do you have any wild ones? I was reading about some other European countries and what they do.
I am past annual traditions when it comes to surviving another year. I have a dog that needs to be comforted around midnight because he's reincarnated. He's clearly a World War II stormed the beaches of Normandy soldier who was reincarnated as a dog, and whenever he hears a loud explosion, it takes him back to his previous life. And I'm not saying my dog was a hero in a previous life. I'm just suggesting that he was probably some type of clerical person that didn't want to storm ashore on June the 6th, but you got to go with the unit. And he probably didn't make it out of his little boat there. He probably died right there in the boat. But either way, the dog's got some trauma. Well, so did you ever do the grapes when you were here? Of course I did the grapes. I lived in Spain. You do the grapes.
I fail at the grapes every year, which probably explains the status of my life.
You have to eat 12 grapes in 60 seconds. How do you fail?
Well, one, mouth is just not big enough. I, unlike you, cannot swallow balls whole. And
wait, isn't this the part where I'm supposed to jump up and down and scream about sponsorship?
Yeah. That's out the window for this year. I've completely given up.
Do not give up. We'll be talking about that soon. I'll tell you why.
So the first year I had him we were at a restaurant, usual suspects. I didn't realize that the seeds that the restaurant was providing, they were not only or just unnaturally large, but they were seeds. They had seeds, and the skin was very bitter. And so that was a weird experience. The next year I got wise and cheated, and I cut them in half, and I took all the seeds out. Still no good. The third year, I took the skin off, took the seeds out, and cut them into quarters. I was very close, but then I was informed I was cheating.
You are definitely cheating, and that's why you have received no good karma in the last 3 attempts. So what ChickBrew is talking about, ladies and gentlemen, in case you have never heard of this, in Spain, the tradition is at the stroke of midnight, you are supposed to consume 12 grapes. Don't ask me the history behind it or the reasoning behind it. Some things you just do because everybody else does them, and this is one of those things. Nobody gets hurt, you just do it. But you've got to do it within the first minute of the new year to guarantee yourself, good karma, good luck throughout the rest of the year. It's an easy feat, but it only applies within the boundaries of Spain. Personally, I believe everybody should be in Naples one time in their life for New Year's. Naples, Catania, not Catania, Naples, the surrounding area of my geography is off this morning, but the surrounding area of Naples, all the way up towards Gaeta. I understand Rome's pretty cool too, but the further north you get, the more civilized you get. You got to be down in barbarian country. You've got to be down in Latania. God, I can't remember the provinces. You got to be down south.
Okay, but I was doing research on other weird things, and Naples, it was suggested that in Naples, people throw old furniture out of their windows.
Out the window. Out the window, no matter what floor they live on. I think they've really cracked down on it. I don't think they allow you to do this anymore, but that was a thing in Naples that at the stroke of the midnight, you got rid of old furniture out the window. It was one of the most, it's still a very dangerous place to be because of unlicensed commercial grade fireworks.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the most dangerous thing. And it's an incredible sight. It can't be put into words, but I can tell you, if you can look at the Bay of Formia and you can be there in a safe location, you can watch what looks like a war going on between Gaeta and Formia. And in the mountains, in the streets, on the water sides, just blast after blast after blast for hours. For hours.
My first week that I spent in Naples, I remember I was going to bed early because I had to be up early, and I got in bed, and just boom, boom, boom. I was like, what is that? It was fireworks.
Bombalas.
So the next night, I was like, okay, fireworks. I don't know what the holiday is, but good for them. The next night, boom, boom. I'm like, what is going on? That was last night and tonight. And then I was like, okay, whatever. Maybe it was just something. And it was August, so I was like, I don't know. Maybe they celebrate something in summer.
Yes, they celebrate summer.
The third night, again, it goes off. So the next morning, I am just beside myself. I go downstairs like, what is going on with the fireworks? And they're like, oh, they do fireworks every night here. And I was like, do they? And they do. They do fireworks every night to honor the birthdays of that day. Okay,
not necessarily true. You've been back to Naples many times since, and there are not nightly fireworks displays.
Yes, there are nightly fireworks. And I'm not saying that they are put on by anyone who's supposed to have fireworks. They don't look like the base's display, but they do look like that time my aunt's ex-husband got the good old Desert Storm tube down the old fireworks station, and we set it off. And it happens every night. And I don't understand how the people don't just lose their mind.
I remember New Year's Eve, probably 96, 97, somewhere in that area. I told my guys, at 15 minutes to midnight, I want you off the street. I want you off the street. I want you held up somewhere nice and high. I do not want any units on the road from 15 minutes to midnight until afterwards, and then only when I call you. You need to hold up somewhere. And of course, sailors being sailors, nobody listened to me. So at 12:03, 3 minutes into the new year, I get the distressed radio call, help, I need a bambulance. My guys were on the road that they shouldn't have been on. It was a very popular road surrounded by large buildings, and they were a moving target. So they would drop these things called the onion. I can't remember the Italian name, bombola. It's basically a giant powder bag of, it's a bag of gunpowder with a fuse in it. And they would light the fuse on the ceiling and they would drop it over the side. And that car took several hits, blew one of the tires out, smashed the windshield, guns powder smoke all over. They didn't listen to me. I knew what they needed to do. They didn't listen, but they survived. The car got beat up, but no big deal. Here, in my new home in central Pennsylvania, I find the strangest things. In New York City, they dropped the Tiffany ball. And the Tiffany balls evolved over the years. Now the ball comes with the 2023 on it, I think, or at the bottom. I don't know, but they dropped the ball. In Harrisburg, the capital of Pennsylvania, I have no idea why, they drop a strawberry. A local town nearby named Dillsburg, what do you think they drop?
A pickle.
They drop a giant pickle. In another town named Mechanicsburg, what do you think they drop?
A wrench.
They drop a giant wrench. And in the wonderful town of Hershey, all of these are my surrounding towns, what do you think they drop?
Oh, a kiss.
Hershey's Kiss, absolutely correct.
That'd be the one I'd go see.
In the nearby city of York, I don't think you're going to be able to guess this one, but they drop a giant white rose. This goes back to the English city of York and one of the many kings 1,000 years ago, and some story about the white rose that only appeared on Jeopardy last night, because I still don't know why the white rose is synonymous with York, but it's interesting stuff. It's a strange little area we live in. We use rodents to determine what our weather's going to be, and we drop strange things on New Year's.
Not as strange as apparently in Italy. Is that a desk? Is it a bomb? I don't know.
Usually a refrigerator. Refrigerators killed people. Sofas would kill people. Any large object coming at you from 6 or 7 stories up. But, I mean, of course, if you've been in Naples for years and years and years, don't be on the street.
Right.
But I mean, I almost killed a family in Spain, and that was accidental. But I was at a friend's. It was at a friend's house after a night run. We were all hot, all sweaty. I went to open up one of these giant pane windows that I had opened before.
Oh no.
ChickBrew, I can't tell you this story in a way that gives it any justice, but I'll do my best. I moved the window just a little bit, and I see this giant pane of glass is falling out of its frame, and we're on the penthouse. We're at the top. I reach for it with my hand, and this thing weighs well over 100 pounds. There's no way I'm saving this. And it goes down, it falls out of the grip of my hand, and I turn around to the room full of people, and apparently, as my friend Angelo tells it, my face was just clearly white. And he goes, "What's wrong?" And I said, "The effing window." And he looked at me with a questioning face. And this is how fast it happened. I spun around. He said, "What's wrong?" I said, "The effing window." And then a giant smash happens where this window had fallen all the way down to the street, narrowly missing a small Spanish family, and just exploded. I still have PTS, not the disorder. I just still have PTS about being, because then I couldn't run near a side of a building anymore because I was afraid something else would happen. And I remember telling the homeowner there, I was like, "You got to get these other things checked out. I barely touched that thing. You got to get these things checked out." And she didn't believe me, and she lost another one like 3 months later. How those windows didn't kill anybody.
W in Austin, all the window panes right in the middle of downtown Austin, busy streets. It was so hot when they were putting them in that the seals weren't setting. They were melting, and we would just sit outside and just watch them.
And no one died.
No.
Terrifying situation.
I mean, luckily when there's construction like that, normally they have enough space blocked off for all the equipment and stuff around it, but
terrifying situation. Hey, let's talk a little bit about 2023. Would you be interested in doing more live shows?
Of course.
Okay, but there'll be special occasions. What are some special occasions you think would be a good time for a live show?
My birthday.
Okay. We could do your birthday.
Or your birthday, since they're both allegedly in April, even though you celebrate in April. I don't know. Not like the normal things. What are fun things?
Yeah, it's something to think about, but we're opening ourselves up to doing more live shows. It was a good time. We want to do it again. Out there in the listening audience, if you can think of a time when maybe it would be appropriate to do another live show, we could do maybe a couple a year. That'd be fun. I enjoyed that. Another thing I want to talk about is our move from Buzzsprout. So initially, when we started taking the radio program and putting in podcast format, it was very clear that the rules couldn't be broken. And the rules were that we could not do anything to monetize the stuff we were doing on the radio for financial purposes. We couldn't do that. Right. So what I have been doing all of these years is paying out of pocket a monthly subscription fee in order to use Buzzsprout. When I added up the math, we could have had a heck of a party for the amount of money I've been paying to do this. But we're also no longer restricted by the governing body, preventing us from making money. And I'm not trying to make money. I've never tried to make money on this, but I don't want to lose money. I would like to break even. That would be a nice thing. So the benefits of moving to Anchor is we're still available in all of your normal podcast feeds. You can find us just about everywhere, even on Buzzsprout. But with Buzzsprout, you're only going to be able to get like the last 60 days worth of episodes, whereas on Anchor, they're going to maintain our entire catalog for you. They are a subsidiary of Spotify. There is the ability to monetize the podcast there, but we need listeners. And our numbers are good. Our numbers put us in the top 30% of all podcasts that exist, which is kind of a large number considering there's like 2 million active podcasts right now. But our numbers get us into the top 30% of that. Our content that we put out puts us up in the top 25% of, a podcast. So we're doing the right things, but what we're not doing is securing listenership.
Right.
So, you could listen and I could listen. There's two. And then, you tell two friends and you tell two friends. Our goal is to be self-sustaining. We got to hit a consistent number of more than 50 per episode. We are a little bit under that. If we can, we're over 30, but we're below 50. If we can get above 50 an episode, then we can start monetizing this. So wherever you have the opportunity to promote the show, I ask that you assist in promoting the show. And if you can give it a listen yourself, it's good business practice. Maybe you put it on there at the Liberty Center and just play it in the background. So people can hear it, hand out a sticker or two, do whatever you can do. And I think my vanity license plate is also going to help increase leadership. We're here to have fun. We're not here to hurt anybody's feelings, but we're trying to do it not for profit, but also not for deficit. So that was one of the big factors in changing. And I made that official last night. I knew I was going to do it by the end of the year. So we are now on Anchor. We support Anchor. And even when we tweet, we talk about the show on Anchor. Once we hit that 50, then they give me readers, and then we'll start including readers in the show. And every time somebody listens to a show with a reader in it, that's where we'll start making our money. Again, not trying to get rich. What's that?
I said nice.
Right? Well, I've been doing these readers for free, like this one, for instance. Hey everybody, it's T-Bone. Did you know you can listen to the LUNSB show on the iHeartRadio app? The team at iHeartRadio has created 2 new features on the app. You can now auto-download to your device and be notified whenever new episodes are released, all for free using the iHeartRadio app. And you can listen to the LUNSB show from anywhere. iHeartRadio. Discover music, radio, and podcasts you'll love. So holy cow, did I come in hot. So I do a little reader like that, and anytime somebody listens, we get rewarded. So that's what we got going on there. We talk about live shows.
I like rewards.
Well, once we hit that audience number, then it'll give us a listing of things that we can choose. I'm a big fan of being sponsored by things that I support. And as I go through that list, 1,000%, if there is a bidet option available, then we will be using. I will create. Excellent. I am looking forward to creating that commercial for cleanbooties.com.
That's the one I
want. Another big thing going into 2023 is going to be our resolution rewards. Hold on, let me see if I can do this. Resolution rewards. We talked about it on the live show. It's going to be $20 per person. All right, everybody puts their money in advance. It's not kicking off until the 10th, so you've got some time. And this is going to be our accountability buddy, our reward pot. This is not gambling. Let's be clear. This is not gambling. This is a pot of money that we all put into, and we reward the longest standing member. It's very easy to do. I'm going to do some videos to show everybody how easy it is. Every day, you're an accountability buddy. Every day, you got to get on a piece of gym equipment, and you got to do a short video, and you got to upload it to the Facebook page. And you can always find the Facebook page just by searching the hashtag LUNSB, LUNSB. So you get on there, you say, hi, it's T-Bone. It's January the 1st. Well, yeah, the examples I'll be doing. It's January 1st, 2023, and this is my accountability video. This is my resolution rewards video. This is me killing it.
I showed up.
Yeah. And we've got some people who said that they were interested in doing this. So here's how it works. Send me a private message that says, I'm interested, and then we'll work out how to put that money off into the pot. And as far as your $20 goes, trust me, I don't need your $20. I don't need anybody else's $20. Not going to steal your money. I am a good person to hold money because I don't need your money. Besides, that's, 1 month subscription of Buzzsprout for me. So that's a good thing. It's resolution rewards. It's what we're going to do. We're going to start doing it on January 10th. So your first videos will be due by January 10th. So that's something I'm looking forward to. And
Well,
I
count me in.
Awesome. So me, you, I think Ace was in. Maybe
Carrie was in.
Carrie, okay. So there's.
She actually messaged me later and was like, "Don't let me forget."
Well, as long as she becomes a regular listener to the show, she will never forget because it's one of those things, of course, that we'll be talking about every week. And I've already got the Rocky Balboa. I've got that. I got the. I got the intro in my head. And then I'm going to, punk it up a little bit.
Everything's fine.
We haven't done it in a long time. We have not spun the wheel of destiny. Oh, a little out of order today. Looks like we're going to the book of everything. Again, had fun with that, but went to a Chinese teppanyaki place for lunch with the missus yesterday, and one of the options on the menu was scallops. Got to tell you, I chose not to eat scallops because, well, number one, steak and shrimp is my favorite, but number two, the thought of scallops having 100 eyeballs has not left me yet. The Book of Everything, in case you don't know, is where we go every week to find something interesting and new, something you have probably never, ever known before in your life. And it's us reading a fact and making a joke about a fact. Here we go. Until 1913, children in America could legally be sent by parcel post.
Why do that?
Do you think it was a requirement? Yeah, you do know that because of AFN.
I know it from somewhere, but I did know that.
Yes, AFN has a cute little commercial on that, and you are required to poke air holes inside. So that was towards the front of the book. Let's go a little deeper to the book. Second fact from the Book of Everything. Oh, I was going to read this one, but then this one caught my eyeballs. I'm going to read this one instead. How many wives do you think Brigham Young had?
Who's Brigham Young?
Brigham Young, the founder of Salt Lake City. The Mormon of Mormons, yes.
The cult leader. I don't know.
Everything's a cult.
No offense.
Everything is a cult until time passes, and then it just becomes mythology.
100%.
Right? So Brigham Young, the founder of Salt Lake City, had multiple wives. How many do you think he had?
12.
Try again.
Higher or lower?
Much higher.
24?
Much higher.
Oh, no, that's too much. That's too many PMSs. No,
First of all, 2 PMSs is too many PMSs.
100%.
Brigham Young, the founder of Salt Lake City, had a total of 55 wives. And that's why he killed himself.
That's so many.
I don't know if he killed himself. He was probably poisoned by one of the wives. It's just too much, man. I got it. You got money, and cool, good for you. But it can't be pleasant.
Think about how many gifts you'd have to buy that you didn't know if they were going to like or not.
But, every time you see these guys who've got all these wives, they're all wearing like the same thing, like a sheet that's got some patel. What is it? The color called pastels. Yes. Like some pastel dye in it. So, there's some versions of blue and white, but it's all like a toga sheet. They're all dressed as, none of these witches are carrying around Gucci, is what I'm saying. If you got 55 wives, what do you get them for Christmas? Here's your $1. Here's your $1. Ooh, this one's new. Here's your $1.
I I guess like the Sister Wives, that show. Something is happening on that show. Something that I don't know because I don't watch it. But every time I see that man's face in like a meme or something, I just think you've done this to yourself.
I've never seen that show. I've never seen the Stepford Wives either, but I think the Stepford Wives is the one I would prefer. The life I would prefer. I think they're all robots or something. I'm not sure, but
they are all robots.
They're there to please. That's what I know. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, just keep this in mind. In 2023, at the end of the year, we're going to do a highlight reel, and that highlight reel is going to be developed based on your input. Another wonderful thing about switching over to Anchor is on the Anchor page, you can leave voice messages and text messages. You can leave messages right there. You don't need to go to Facebook, but you can go to Facebook. But you can also do it right there on the Anchor page. When we say something that tickles your fancy, when we say something that makes you laugh, giggle, or chuckle, let us know. And we'll put it on the list, and we'll mark it and tab it. And for the end of the year compilation, maybe your suggestion of something that was mildly humorous will make it into the final production. And you'll get credit. And if you get credit, we'll probably give you a LUNSB Christmas ornament. That was the book of everything. You know what would be interesting to talk about now? It's time to talk about cooking.
And tonight, prove one thing. All.
Have you made anything interesting lately?
I don't know if you saw, but I was eating probably one of my favorite things all year, the leftover sandwich.
Key ingredient, ham or turkey?
It was pork, but not ham.
Ham.
Green
Ooh,
beans,
ham.
tomatoes.
Another interesting New Year's tradition in this area that I don't understand yet, but apparently pork butt and sauerkraut is a big New Year's thing in this area, and I don't know why. But I'm probably going to buy some and eat some because I like pork butt. I like pork butt. And I like sauerkraut, so we'll see what that is. What kind of pork was it? A chop? A butt?
No, it was like a. I didn't buy it. I didn't make it. It was delicious. That's all that matters. But I had that. I had mashed potatoes, stuffing, cranberry, green bean casserole, gravy. And I'm sad that it's gone.
All in
I
the
ate
sandwich.
it already. All in a sandwich.
Yes, that's good. I normally do that with the turkey. I never do that with the ham. I believe the perfect post-Thanksgiving turkey sandwich is so simple. Quality bread, mayonnaise on both layers, some turkey, some salt, done deal. To me, that's the perfect after Thanksgiving turkey sandwich. For that after Christmas ham sandwich, I'm probably the same. Just give me some bread, give me some mayonnaise, give me some ham. Oh, ham. And
You name it.
And I'm good. I'm good with that as a simple sandwich. But I'm going to tell you what I had today. When I was a child, it was a special day to have a manwich. It was special. It's not something we normally ate. And my mama, she put mayonnaise on a manwich. And it was delicious. My wife makes a mean chili. And the only complaint I've ever had about her chili is she doesn't make enough. Because it is delightful. It is A-licious, as Nita would say. I love that chili. But what I love even more is I love taking 2 quality pieces of bread, putting mayonnaise on both sides of it, and laying that chili down so it's like a hearty, what's the hearty soup? Like it's like a Progresso soup, it's nice and hearty. It's like a homemade manwich sandwich. And it's just so meaty and masculine and chewy and delicious. I want to go eat one right now.
I do love Sloppy Joes, though. Sloppy Joes are so good. I feel like people just don't appreciate them as much as they should.
Am I missing something? Is there something in a Sloppy Joe's that's not just chili?
Chili has more. Sloppy Joe is like the saucy onions, pepper, like a bell pepper and meat. But it's like the seasoning. It's the spices that go into the like tomato sauce. It's not anything fancy, but I do make them occasionally. Sometimes a little brown sugar. Just depends. But they're so good.
Yes.
I actually, when I make a bunch all at once, and then I portion it out into one, and I vacuum seal it and keep it in my freezer. So just in case there's a Sloppy Joe emergency.
Or a chili emergency. I think they're interchangeable. So
I'm not going to argue with you on that. I think that's just fine.
and you take a scoop, you take one of those Tostitos scoops, and you put that into the chili. It's an amazing dip. It's very, very versatile.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chili is so good.
I'm salivating over here. I really enjoyed the talking about food episode of this week. Hey, let's get on to more serious things. Do you have any headlines for me?
I do.
And now it is time for headlines from around the globe.
Well, today's headlines are brought to you by the Toronto Sun, and this is it's some of their weirdest headlines from 2022. So
I am looking forward to this. Let's. How many are we talking?
I mean, we could do the normal 2, but I would say if you want to, there's 3. There's 3 that I think you might have some fun with.
I am training myself for my debut at the Harrisburg Comedy Zone, where we're going to do this thing. So I will give you the best I can give you, or at least I'll do my best. I'll do my best.
Restaurant sues customer who tried to take back $3,000 tip.
Have you ever taken a tip back? I have. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not proud of this, and I'll admit that. I'm going to tell you how this happened, okay? I know exactly how this $3,000 tip guy feels, because sometimes you add an extra zero, you do something wrong, you're like, oops, I'm sorry, that was a mistake, let me correct it. And they're like, no, blackjack, no trade back. You're not allowed to make a mistake when it's worth this much money. We're keeping this $3,000 tip. And the guy's like, no. I was going to give you a $300 tip. Now I'm giving you a $30 tip because you're being a jerk, being a jerky jerk. And they're like, we'll see you in court. Luckily, none of that happened with me. What happened with me is I got thrown out on my tuchus.
Not the tuchus.
I was in an establishment of higher learning. I was in a place where women take off their clothes so they can pay for their college to become doctors. And I was impressed by the show that this young lady was giving, so I went up to her and I went to put a $5 thing in a particular place. If you know how this works, there's a place where you can put money, and I went to put money in the slot. And when I did that, I realized it was a $50 bill. And although she was very attractive and I was enjoying the show, that is not what I wanted to do. So instantaneously, I whipped that thing back down. I said, sorry, wrong bill. And then I reached my pocket and I gave her the right bill. She was not happy with that, but she didn't want to get a lawyer involved. So instead, she called over a couple of really burly dudes who snatched me up and threw me out into the street. And that's the last time I went to a strip club in Key West, Florida.
Yeah, that sounds like a rough day.
Or a drag show. It could have been either. I'm not sure. It's Key West.
Same, boss. Same.
All right, here we go. Headline number 2.
Man marries triplets.
If you want to make your life, oh my God. I've never understood sadomasochism. I've never understood pleasure equals pain. I don't get it. But man, you wanna punish yourself? You go ahead and marry yourself a set of twins. Marry yourself a set of triplets. First of all, any twin that wants to marry the same man, already there are mental issues. You may see this on adult video sites, but those are actresses. It's not real. It's fake. In real life, the thing with twins is, the thing with triplets, wow, is because they're going to share many of the same characteristics. So much so that the infighting between the twins and the triplets is enough drama for your mama. You don't need that. And you're going to jump into the middle of this?
Not me.
This man,
broad you.
This man who married triplets will not. This marriage will not last. Will not last 5 years. Will not last 5 years. They will either kill him. He will kill himself. But they will most likely kill him. The 3 of them will team up against him. One day, this is going to make a great Dateline. This is going to make an awesome Dateline. And in the wedding aisle, all 3 brides said, I do. It's going to be, and then they said.
Do they wear the same dress? Is it all equal, samesies?
And then they said, I don't. Find out what happens tonight.
And then they said, run.
Oh, the primal portion of my brain that's about reproduction and just, it's like, yes, 3 of the same. Oh, I can do this. But the reality is, no, this is not going to work at all. This is bad. Bad. Okay, it's real bad. You got another one?
Yep. Groom exposes cheating wife's risque video at wedding.
I saw a lot of that in 2022. I saw a lot of things like that. The most recent one, it's all filmed in Spanish. She's still wearing her wedding dress, and he decided to take off his wedding suit with another woman in the back of the stretch limo, and it's all caught on camera. First of all, if you're spending a ton of money marrying somebody, you're making mistakes from the get-go. Never go into a relationship in debt. That's a horrible way to start. Do it on the cheap. You know what? If it works out after 10 years, do something really nice. But you gotta build credit in a marriage, just as you've got to build credit in your bank account. You don't cash that check all at once. You cash that check gradually over the years as time goes by. I've seen these videos where, for whatever reason, somebody finds out either at the last minute or the psychopath knew for months in advance that their soon-to-be betrothed was cheating on them.
Right. There's no way you're getting your deposit back on any of that. You should have thought about that sooner.
And for content purposes, because most of these people are TikTokers or Instagrammers or something like that, they think it would be funny to drag all of these people to an actual wedding only to do some kind of large setup and go, this person's a whore. Yay! And then that's on the internet forever. Good for you. You've succeeded in just
nothing.
The continual degradation of the human race. Stop it already.
Yeah, no, it is. You do see a lot of it on like TikTok. I just don't understand. Like, there's no shame. There's no sense of like no privacy.
I prematurely posted the Waffle House fight video. And when I say premature, I posted it because I wanted people to see it because we had just talked about it the week before. But if I would have been patient and waited a little bit longer, they have taken out all the cuss words and they put some dramatic music over the top of it, and they've done some stop motion and some slow speed and some of the products that came out of that one. The benefit of everybody having a camera on them wherever they go is more things like that should be seen. I'm telling you, that happens every night in at least one Waffle House in whatever state you're in. At least one of them. At least one of them has got one of those. And old girl, she did a good job. I was kind of proud of her. And the customer comes up over the counter. Now, once you're on my side of the counter, it's free game. And she just goes to work on her. Just goes, good slugs. Not like,
Cross the line. You crossed the line.
So
that was like the weird thing about bartending is like versus working security. When you're the bartender, there's this beautiful piece of wood and plaster in between you and whatever is happening over there. And if someone starts to like kind of lean in over, you're like, go back.
You stay on your side.
If you're on the other side of the bar working and like doing security and things go crazy, I still question daily who hired people that would hire 22-year-old Christina to work security for them in their bar, because let's be honest, I was like 60 pounds lighter and just as brave. So not very brave at all. And often just go, anyone but me, come fix this. The manager of that bar was like the owner's mom. She's still alive. I believed her to be 80 at the time. She looks exactly the same. I don't know how old she actually was. When I
first met you, you had RBF syndrome. You had a strong case of RBF syndrome.
It was just for you.
Well, I think as time has gone on and you have become happier with life, I see you smile more and you're not, so RBF dependent. Is it possible that 22-year-old you was just locked down with RBF?
I don't know. To be honest, though, I don't do great in like bar settings. So the only reason I ever applied to work in a bar was because then I was like, it will be a purpose. I won't You know what I mean? Like I don't do well just going out and going to a bar to like drink and do those things because I'm super awkward. I can't dance, so I don't dance. You can only stand in front of the bar so long before it's weird for you and the person working. So working at the bar just seemed like the logical step to see people that I knew, but not have to actually engage with them.
Did you ever throw anybody out of the bar?
Yeah.
But did you do it with words or did you thump them?
So there was one girl who kept coming in and she was underage. We were 18 and up on Thursday nights. Literally the worst thing ever. And she would come in and she would get blackout drunk every single week. Her friends would buy her drinks. She'd go in the bathroom. She'd slam them. And I kept saying, like, why do we keep letting her in? But I'm not the owner. And so as many times as I more or less drug her out, one time, like the last time I saw her, I wrote underage on her forehead, put X's on her cheeks, on her hands. I was like, if anyone sees her with a drink, she's done.
Did you draw a rocket ship on her face?
It was not a rocket ship, but similar shape and size. And like 20 minutes later, she had nothing on her face or on her arms. I was like, oh, that's it. Go out. Just get out.
I would love to do a Where Is She Now episode. She's probably a teacher.
Teachers, they're wild. They're wild.
Only after they've been tenured. I saw a great video on that this morning. It was a veteran teacher versus rookie teacher in a social situation. And I was like, hey, Joey, what can I get you to drink? It's like, oh, my child's parents are over there. I don't want to drink and be seen in public drinking. And then, the veteran teacher's like, get themselves over here. And it's very funny.
It was weird, though, working in a bar and then like seeing your teachers in bars or seeing, just people that were like authority figures when you were younger. But then now they don't care because everyone's of age. But like then serving them and then not tipping and then it making a lot of sense.
For me, awkward came in the form of gay clubs. So for whatever my parents, they would do renovations and they would do all kinds of stuff, and a lot of it involved the gay community in Savannah at the time. So the local club in Savannah at the time was The Who before it burned down, and my parents would be there, and they would be, just drinking with their gay friends. It was strange. And every once in a while, they would say,
we drink together all the time. It's just you and me there, and you're just drinking with your gay friends. They're just people.
I am aware. So every once in a while, my mother's like, just come down to The Who and pick up this and then take that. I'm like, okay. So I'd go down there and I know a lot of the people. I know the bouncer woman, but it would be extremely awkward because I'm, 14, 15 at the time. It'd be extremely awkward to see like some of the school teachers in there and like, don't recognize. I mean, one time I'm literally there in my ROTC uniform because it was like on a way to go do something. My mother asked me to pick something up, and the bouncer, the female bouncer, she's got me pinned up against the wall, like keeping them at bay because I'm this cute little military guy, and everybody wants me. So and then you would see the teacher, and I'm like, I won't say nothing if you don't say nothing, because it was a different time. It was a different time.
Your parents were ahead of the time.
Yeah, in more ways than you could possibly imagine. That's another story for another time, I tell you that.
Whatever, I love your mom. She's great.
She's pretty awesome. Hey,
I want to meet your mom one day.
You haven't met my mother yet?
Nope. But her and Ace are down in Savannah, so we'll probably just all have to go down there all together and just have a good old party.
That'd be a good time. Go down there and what's that old lady's name with the restaurant?
Your mom's house?
Paula Dean. Go down there to Paula Dean's and have some of her biscuits and pancakes, gravy, and
fantastic.
Yeah.
Butter. Just have a heart attack.
Hey, it's we're getting ready to wrap this up, but we can't do it without doing our birthday boost. Oh, I was queuing you up like it was the news again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of our favorite activities we do every week. We get an opportunity to acknowledge you on your special days. I'm going to tell you, as I have said for years and years and years, you should not put your real birthday on social media. So we're going to assume for your safety that the birthdays that you're putting on social media are not your exact birthdays, but close proximities to or something significant for you. As it was mentioned earlier, I celebrate annually my birthday on a date that's not my birthday because I don't want the scammers and the hackers to know what my actual birthdays are, even though it really takes nothing to find out. I'm just not going to make it extra easy for them. They're going to have to put some work in if they want to steal my stuff. So we do this.
Not only that, but you were in the military, and we all know that the government has lost control of our data, like a weekly rotation.
All the time. Yes, ma'am. That is correct.
We would like to offer you 6 months of identity protection.
They gave me a year. So
I remember getting that email 1 week after my clearance interview, and I was just like, literally all of my information.
So this is what we do every week. We find out who of our favorite people are by having two things that we call the birthday boost, and then we follow up with everybody else in the honorable mention section. If you want to have your birthday boosted, well, then you be a fan of the person, either her or me, or be a fan of the show and engaged in the show and helping us get our listenership up so that we can get that money, Sonny. It is
the day.
It is coming up on the new year, and there are quite a few people on my list. But as always, I defer to you, and you get to go first. Who's your first birthday boost?
My friend Amberly, aka Dot. So we met when I was 20, so long ago. She probably is the best chef that I personally know. She makes the most amazing food out of she could do anything. She's amazing. I don't know where she gets it from or how. She's the size of a toothpick. And I remember when she was like, hey, I'm going to go to culinary school, because she couldn't decide if she wanted to do upholstery for her elective or a cooking class as her elective. Did the cooking class, completely left regular college, and that was absolutely the right decision. She's a genius with food.
A genius with food. Nice. Even though you can't hear it, I added the cheers onto the end of it just for you. I cannot not. So just a couple of weeks ago, there was some kind of goofiness that happened. And when my friend Alex Brewer, no relation, had his birthday, he was like the only one that was mentioned in that episode. And then everybody else's birthday boost fell off. And I lost the original, so we didn't get to properly acknowledge that week. But today, his lovely wife, Amanda Brewer, again, no relation. Amanda is just such a genuine sweetheart. And most importantly, that is Rosa's mama. So we have had the greatest relationship with this team because they have a Rhodesian Ridgeback. We have a Rhodesian Ridgeback. We got to meet Rosa when she was a puppy, and Zeus was enamored with her, and those two dogs love each other. As much as we love their pet family, they love our pet family. They're amazing people. I miss going to the dog park there in Rhoda with her, Rosa, Zeus, sometimes you.
We were there today.
We had a great time there, and I love this lady, and it's her birthday. So everything I said about her husband, I kind of just said about her. So if you didn't hear it, you have to listen to it later. So Amanda Brewer, you are my birthday boost. I think the world of you. You are the greatest dog mom ever, next to, my dog mom.
Oh, burn.
Who is your second birthday boost?
Well, we talked about someone who's good with food. Now let's talk about someone who's amazing with the drinks. Colleen Hughes. I met her at Charlotte. If you are ever in Charlotte and you have the best cocktail of your life, she probably had something to do with it. She's been rated like the #1 bartender on the East Coast in America. I think it was GQ even featured her as one of the #1 bartenders in the country. She's crushing it right now, but she makes a very tasty beverage.
For my second birthday boost, it's hard to make a decision this particular week. I'm gonna go with Dave Noble. Dave Noble is active duty Army, high rank at this point. Last time I knew him, he was lieutenant colonel, I believe. But that's not the thing that makes Dave amazing. He also brought me into the fold, brought me into his family, literally, and would help me out when we were in Seoul together. He would take me to places where I met new and interesting people and formed a new and interesting and healthy habit. And not only that, but Dave, he also has his own production company. They've made a couple of movies. They're quality movies, and they're done on a budget. He's a very interesting man. He's a great person to know. He's killing it in all things that are wonderful. And it's a beautiful little family. And I thank him for everything that he ever did for me. And happy birthday. Now, on to your honorable mentions. Who do you got?
I got Cranston Bryant and one of my favorite little guys, my best friend, one of her sons, Ian. God, I can't believe they're teenagers now. That is insane. But yeah, I was
you had Ian
too.
on the you had Ian on the live show too.
Yep, it doesn't matter.
You're double dipping in the Ian dish.
Okay, well, we could go with Janice, we can go with Chris, we can go with Lincoln, Alma, Tera, but Ian is just my guy.
All right, that's good stuff. Anybody else on your honorable mention?
No, that'll do it.
I am heavy in the old Rota Club here. I got Dennis Wolf, Orlando McLeod, Whitney Cloak, Mike Brandon, Sebastian Stakowitz, Mike Foster, Stephen Dombrowski, Juan Rodriguez. All of them are just from my Rota time in life. I also have Jay Hansen. I have Felix Rivera, and I'm just sorting through right now. Priscilla Caprio. And yeah, that's it. Those are all of my honorable mentions, most of which are part of my Forever Rota family. So that's everybody that we want to wish happy birthday and give our boost to, and it's a good time. We have done everything we need to do. You need to go. I need to go. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for taking the time with me to do an end of the year episode. Just one more to add to the new anchor management. Anchor management. That's funny. I like that. I'll get this up and running, probably not tonight, but it will be our end of the year episode. And another wonderful thing about Anchor, it lets me post-date the episode, so it will still look like it was done today, which it actually was on the 31st of December, 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, rolling into 2023, not 2023. Holy cow.
We're not there yet.
Rolling into 2023. We both wish you nothing but the best. We hope you enjoy us. If there's anything you want us to do to improve the show, to make the show more inclusive, you just name it. We'll include it. We could do that. We want it to be fun. We want it to be funny, entertaining, and respectful. It's what we're looking for in 2023. We want you to just have, I say all the time, to just be the best person that you can be and make 2023 the best year of your life. Just do everything you can to improve yourself. Join us in the Resolution Rewards Challenge. Listen more frequently. Tell people about the show. These are all good things you could do, and just be genuinely nice to your fellow human beings. Don't hurt them. We're all on this spaceship together. You know what I mean? Let's have fun together and do it in the best way possible. So that's my end of the year wrap up. Do you have something similar?
Yeah, just a big thank you to everyone who's listened to the show, participated in whichever capacity you have been able to or willing to give to us. All of your time is valuable. I look forward to talking with you, engaging with you all next year. I'm definitely excited to take all your money in the resolutions and rewards because put it on my car payment. But no, I'm also really excited too. I'm hoping that next year we get a little more participation because I always get super excited to see what everyone is doing and living vicariously through their successes. And I hope that we get to do that a little more frequently next year. But as I always say, don't forget that you are loved.
And I always say after you say that, aww, because it is such a sweet sentiment. And I love the way we close our show, and I love the way we close this show. So with that being said, let's pass it on to Darrell McLean, and he's going to see us out for the end of 2023. Thanks for listening, everybody. LUNSB.
LUNSB.
T-Bone. Check out the Darrell independent media that won't reinforce tribal nobodies. You can find the Darrell McLean saying this. Give it a
There will be no post-comment comments in this episode.